For a long time, there was a question in Hollywood that many people seemed unwilling to say out loud. How could someone whose entire career was built around a message be kind end up being described by people behind the scenes as distant, demanding, and even intimidating? That question kept resurfacing whenever the name Ellen DeGeneres entered the conversation. For nearly 20 years, Ellen dominated daytime television. As the host of the Ellen DeGeneres Show, she became one of the most influential personalities on TV. The show ran for almost 2 decades and grew into one of the most successful talk shows in the United States, known for its celebrity interviews, viral moments, and uplifting message. To millions of viewers, Ellen represented positivity and kindness. But when the show suddenly came to an end, a different kind of discussion started gaining attention. People began wondering what might have been happening away from the cameras and behind the studio doors. Over time, more conversations surfaced suggesting that the off-camera reality may not have always matched the cheerful image audiences saw on screen. And through it all, there was one comedian who had long hinted that Hollywood often has more than one face. According to Katt Williams, the entertainment industry can present a polished image to the public, while a very different story may exist behind the scenes.
Those one world people exist because it's a very powerful concept to have and far too lucrative and beneficial to not. Everybody is a supplier. Epstein, Weinstein, like these guys knew what these extremists liked and provided it, and provided the way for you to to have $1 billion and not create a fantasy island type environment has not existed throughout history.
Right.
Katt Williams has long had a reputation for saying exactly what he thinks about Hollywood. While plenty of comedians choose to stay careful with their words, Katt built his entire image around challenging the industry and calling things out directly. He's never been known for softening his opinions or avoiding uncomfortable topics. For years, he's been warning audiences about something he believes is very real in the entertainment world. According to him, Hollywood is filled with people performing roles even when the cameras aren't rolling. In other words, the personalities the public sees may not always reflect who someone really is behind closed doors. So when stories about the workplace environment surrounding Ellen DeGeneres began circulating, many fans suddenly remembered the things Katt had been saying for years. Because Ellen didn't begin her career as one of the most powerful hosts on television. She was born on January 26, 1958, in Metairie, Louisiana. Long before she ever became a household name, she lived a fairly ordinary life and worked a series of regular jobs, much like countless others trying to find their path. Eventually, she discovered a passion for comedy. During the early
Ellen
1980s,
relocated to England,
Ellen began performing stand-up routines in small comedy clubs, slowly building her confidence and sharpening her style on stage.
Age would you?
Those early performances helped her gain attention within the comedy scene. Then, in 1986, a major moment arrived that would change everything. Ellen landed a spot on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson, performing in front of the legendary host Johnny Carson. For a stand-up comedian at that time, being invited onto Carson's show was one of the biggest opportunities imaginable.
Johnny Carson.
This is a good night for a young comedian to appear because you're all in a great mood. This is her first appearance on network television, although she can be seen this month on HBO's Young Comedian Special. And she's working at the Improvisation in San Diego this weekend. She'll be at the San Francisco Punchline the 3rd through the 6th of December, and at the Dallas Improv December the 9th through the 6th to 14th. Would you welcome Ellen DeGeneres? Ellen?
Thank you. Hi. Good. You feeling good? Me too. Feel great. I've been keeping in shape lately, you know. You have to. I'm getting older. I'm 27. People say, you don't look 27. You look like you're about 23. I'm lucky because that runs in my family. My grandmother is 97, She looks about 93. Have a little nephew who's 4, doesn't even look like he's born yet. Tiny embryo of a thing.
After finishing her set, Johnny Carson invited her to sit on the famous couch. At that time, that moment meant everything for a comedian. It was a clear sign that you had truly arrived in the world of comedy. From there, Ellen DeGeneres continued building momentum in her career. By the 1990s, she was starring in her own sitcom, Ellen, which helped make her a familiar face on television. Then in 1997, she made a major public announcement on the cover of Time magazine, revealing to the world that she was gay. The moment came at a time when her show was also competing with hugely popular series like Friends and Seinfeld.
I think I've realized that I can't even say the word. Why can't I say the word? I mean, why can't I just say... I mean, what is wrong? Why do I have to be so ashamed? I mean, why can't I just say the truth? I mean, be who I am. I'm 35 years old. I'm so afraid to tell people. I mean, Susan, I'm gay.
At the time, that decision was considered a huge risk in Hollywood. Not long after, Ellen was canceled, and several networks began distancing themselves from Ellen DeGeneres. For a while, it seemed like her career in television might be coming to an end. But Ellen eventually made a comeback that very few people expected. In 2003, she launched The Ellen DeGeneres Show. This time, she returned with more than just comedy. She presented herself with a very specific image, someone who stood for positivity, generosity, and kindness. Every episode closed with the same message: be kind to one another. That short phrase quickly became the foundation of her brand. Over the years, the show grew into a massive success. Ellen filmed more than 3,000 episodes and won dozens of Daytime Emmy Awards. Nearly every major celebrity eventually appeared on her stage. She remained at the top of daytime television for years, until reports about her alleged treatment of staff members behind the scenes began to surface.
Toxic, phony, hypocrite, liar. That's what she is.
Hedda Muscat was with Ellen from the beginning in 2003 when the talk show was launched.
We were told from the very beginning, don't talk to Ellen, don't do this, you can't, go into her office. It was very nerve-wracking, very stressful. We all walked on eggshells all the time.
Muscat says
just watch Ed go off on people. Ellen would look at Ed and she would laugh, because I was hoping she was going to say, Ed, you can't be yelling at crew this way. You can't be yelling at people this way. She laughed and she said, every production needs their dog.
Meaning
Ed is her dog.
Like her attack dog.
Her attack dog. So therefore she doesn't need to do that. He took the role of being the attack dog, that she didn't have to now be the attack dog. So she didn't have to yell.
So when Ellen says she's not aware of this environment, you don't think that rings true?
It's a lie.
Muscat won
as a host, but as a boss and someone who's behind the scenes running the show, she's a different person. She's not the person people see.
For years, Ellen's be kind image stayed mostly unquestioned. But once the allegations emerged, the internet began digging through old clips, searching for moments that might reveal a different side of her. One moment that kept resurfacing involved Taylor Swift. During an interview, Ellen pressed Taylor to discuss her dating life. When Taylor tried to steer away from the topic, Ellen turned it into a game. Images of various male celebrities suddenly appeared on the screen, adding pressure and tension to the segment. It quickly went viral, featured Dakota Johnson. During their interview, Ellen teased her about not inviting her to a birthday party. Dakota, however, calmly corrected her, saying, "Actually, you were invited." Crack in Ellen's carefully crafted image. Finally, someone was standing up to her and seeing through the persona she had built. But things really reached a tipping point during her interview with Mariah Carey. At the time, rumors were swirling that Mariah might be pregnant. Ellen brought out champagne and joked that if Mariah drank it, it would prove the rumors were false. Mariah appeared visibly uncomfortable, but she eventually took a sip.
toast to you not being pregnant. If you're not pregnant, then we should.
Oh, my goodness. I can't believe her.
Mariah.
How about to the future?
Yeah, you can really...
And for both of our futures, who knows what they hold?
Who knows? All right, go ahead.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers. The clip saying that that you're pregnant. There's rumors.
Don't discuss that.
All right. Well, you don't have to.
No, that's okay. No, honestly,
you don't have to answer me. Let's just toast with champagne.
Some champagne. It's just fattening. So,
you can't have champagne.
That's not champagne because you can't.
No, it
have
is. The singer. You want to taste it?
I can't believe you did this to me, Ellen.
What? No.
Are you trying
I'm
to
not going to ask you if you're pregnant
this
or not.
This is peer pressure. Do you see what Ellen is doing? This is peer pressure.
I was like, why does she keep talking about champagne?
Okay, cheers.
Cheers.
It's too early for me. Yeah. I only drink it after 3 p.m.
Yeah. You're pregnant. You're pregnant.
No,
you
I
are
didn't
pregnant.
say that.
Years later, Mariah Carey revealed that she had actually been pregnant at the time and tragically later experienced a miscarriage. Suddenly, that champagne moment took on a much darker meaning. The idea that Ellen pressured Mariah to drink alcohol in that situation made the clip feel far less playful. As more people revisited moments like these, the humor quickly faded. It began to look like Ellen derived entertainment from putting others in uncomfortable situations or pressuring them to do things they didn't want to do. Clips like these started circulating widely online, and audiences began asking a larger question: was the Be Kind image the whole story? According to Katt Williams, Hollywood has a very particular way of constructing public personas. In multiple interviews and stand-up routines, he's explained how the entertainment industry can turn real people into carefully controlled characters. He once described it like this: some celebrities spend their entire careers playing the role of an angel, afraid of what the public might see if the mask ever slipped. He's even suggested that some actors give up parts of themselves, sometimes even their personal identities, to satisfy their handlers and maintain their careers.
I don't care how people feel about the ritual. It's about, does following the ritual work? Yeah. And so you can fool yourself into thinking there isn't one, but the evidence will be clear. So like when I be like, oh, these guys are wearing dresses. Everybody's like, oh, he keeps talking about people wearing dresses. No, it's not.
That is a weird thing.
It's not like that. Look at it from a different way. Look at it. Show me one person that ever wore a dress in Hollywood unsuccessfully. That's how you understand what a ritual is. So 20 years ago, I knew that transgenders was going to be a thing. It wasn't because I was a prophet. It's just I had gotten so much information that I understood that things are secular. So I understood that the earliest I had seen that word transgender was Baphomet, the transgender. And so I knew that in the ritual of Baphomet, the transgender, to show allegiance to him, you had to kiss his ring.
Really?
And it said both of those things. So I knew that both of those things would become popular in the future. And that somehow calling people the GOAT.
The public usually sees the smiles, the jokes, and the carefully polished version of a celebrity. But behind the scenes, the reality can be much darker. Richard Pryor's former bodyguard even claimed to have witnessed what really went on when people like this gathered for their more questionable activities.
I'm in Malibu, and it's supposed to be the shit, but but I didn't understand that. I'm with a black man that owns his house in Malibu. That's unheard of. Flip made it clear. He said, yeah, there's other black people here. Miles Davis is down the street. He's renting. So-and-so, he's renting. I own my But I still didn't get it because I'm young. It's like, this is some boring shit out here on Malibu, the white people left and right. What's going on? So Flip one day looked at me and said, oh, you want to see the shit? I don't know what the shit is, but I want to see something other than Malibu. And he took me to the parties. He took me to the shit to make me understand this is why I don't be around me. And so you seen the orgies, you seen the people that was the stars, and the that they was doing, and the smells and the looks in their eyes. And I was, you know, in my youth, I kept a cutlass on me. And so I know I'm walking around holding my cutlasses because you seen people in states of mind that you never experienced nothing like that. I knew people that got high, but they didn't get high and did the that I was seeing. And so after I was exposed to it, Flip took me around it about 4 or 5 times. And then he said to me, you see why I don't fuck with that. Because, you know, you had a group of people that painted their fingernails black, what they call Illuminati now. It was some kind of clique then, and in this clique, you know, we wife swap and all this kind of shit. You can fuck my wife and stand there and watch, and all, I seen it. I literally seen all these things, and it was like, okay. And in my youth, I wasn't afraid, but I knew I would have hurt somebody if I was approached. I would have hurt somebody.
And that's exactly the kind of chaos Katt Williams has been warning about for years. According to him, the entertainment industry thrives on power, reputation, and silence. When a controversy surfaces, the public usually only sees fragments of the truth. At the same time, there are real victims connected to the Jeffrey Epstein case, whose experiences go far beyond internet gossip. One of those voices is survivor Marina Lorda, who has shared her story publicly. In interviews, she described how vulnerable many of the girls were when they first encountered Epstein. Some came from difficult home situations, while others were simply trying to earn money to support their families. Epstein would present what seemed like simple work. A girl might be told she could earn hundreds of dollars just for giving a short massage. For teenagers struggling financially, that kind of money felt life-changing.
So you're in this position of struggling at home, and all of a sudden you're just taken into this world, owned by this man that's saying, I run the government, I run the banks, I know some of the most influential and wealthiest people on the planet.
We could see it too. We could see it too. Like, he had pictures, you know, he had pictures with everybody there, all these prominent people that are on the files now. I'm not going to start naming them, but they're all there. And when we look at this as a child, we're like, oh my God, like celebrities too. Right. You know, he would put us on the phone with celebrities. He would put us on the phone with some of these prominent people that are in the files. And he would brag with these people that he was getting a massage by young girls. He would not say how old we were, but he would say we were young. Sometimes we'd be like, oh, I have a young, you know, European girl here, or I have a young Brazilian girl here. So he talked to these people about getting these massages every day. Because if he was in New York, he was getting a massage every day. If I was there, I would see a girl coming down, and I would just think it's a girl from Yale, because he said he had, you know, he had connections with Yale, Harvard, and so many different colleges. And I would just think, you know, because he's a brain surgeon, he's probably, you know, given a lesson, or I don't know what he's doing, or, you know, maybe he's helping this girl out. I don't know, you know, but I would be waiting for him, and there would be a girl coming down, and when I would go upstairs and I would come down, there would be another girl waiting for him. That's 3 girls in a matter of like an hour or 2.
She explained that when the FBI eventually reached out to her, she was terrified. Epstein quickly provided lawyers on his behalf, which only added to the confusion and fear. As a young woman with little money and very limited guidance, she didn't know who she could trust. Years later, she still believes that many questions about the Jeffrey Epstein case remain unanswered. According to her, there could still be millions of documents that the public has never fully seen, documents that might one day shed light on connections to powerful figures, potentially even including Ellen DeGeneres.
Truth has come out, or do you think there's a significant gap between what we know now and what is to come out?
I think there's a lot more that they want us to know. They put out what they want us to know, right? We have 3 other million files that haven't been let out, that haven't dropped yet, and sometimes I wonder, I'm like, why are we even going to let 3 million other files out when we're not doing anything about these 3 million files, right? But us as, you know, Americans, we deserve this transparency, and we deserve to see these other 3 million files. But it does keep us wondering, why are they holding these other 3 million files back? And we have to think about this. Who really has gone through 3 million files? So what is in those files? Right now, we're just really focused on serious allegations, doing absolutely nothing about it. So I think there is more to this than what we know.
As the Jeffrey Epstein story has continued to unfold, more voices have joined the conversation. One of the loudest and most controversial has been educator and activist Umar Johnson. During an interview about the fallout from the Epstein investigations, Dr. Umar spoke bluntly. He argued that the scandal wasn't just about one man. In his view, Epstein was a symbol of something much larger, a system of power built on politics, money, influence, and connections to some of the most powerful people in the world.
There's nothing in the Epstein file that was not done on the plantation. Hundreds of thousands of documented cases against children. You still Catholic, but you got a problem with Epstein? Any Jew in the world, even if you're accused of, is this what they use it for? What do all the any Jewish, what do? They assume their right of return and they move back to Israel alone. There's been stories done on pedophiles that the Jewish government will not extradite to America. You hear that? Because they have a right of return. You mean to tell me Jeffrey Epstein would not have activated his right of return before they came and arrested him? No way. Loon, there's no way you're going to tell me an intelligence agent for Mossad could not have gotten out of America and gotten back to Israel. Right. I don't think he's dead. I think it was a setup.
Because it is a freaky accident.
Remember, when you know something is coming down the pike, you control it. Mm-hmm. This is about to get out. We got to serve you up. But you're going to go into exile. We're going to remake you. You feel me? Right. We got to serve you up. Because if we don't serve you up, they're going to keep looking for other people. We can't afford the big dogs to get caught. You feel me?
Right.
Jeffrey, you did a good job. We pulling you off the public work. You feel me? You're going to get your face done over. Nobody, we got new passport. Remember, these are the...
Yeah, the top of the top. 1% of the 1%.
We got a new passport, new house. There is no Jeffrey Epstein. He got a whole new name. He Frank James.
He watching all this unfold.
Come on! You feel me?
For sure.
Playing cards with Saddam Hussein. And Osama bin Laden. They over there playing hopscotch. You feel me?
Man, that's
Bro,
deep.
They gave us Epstein because he's low. Think about it, Loon. These the big dogs. We got to protect the big dogs. You got to fall on the sword for us.
Yes, sir.
He's still going to let you get your girls and all. You feel me? He's still going to be doing his thing.
In other words, according to that speculation, the public may have been shown one story while a very different one unfolded behind closed doors. There's no confirmed evidence to prove this theory, but the suspicion persists because so many questions about that period remain unanswered. Around the same time, new developments have surfaced concerning one of Epstein's most secretive properties, his ranch in New Mexico, U.S. Rumors have long suggested it was the site of disturbing activities, and recently, investigators have renewed focus on the property while examining information tied to the larger case.
Big property, and this allegation is not even clear about when these people were allegedly buried there. Which makes me wonder, even if you were digging, what could you potentially find? What would be left over?
You're going to have skeletal remains at this point. These allegations purport that this happened so long ago. And so not only did they say that these are possibly minors, so you have smaller bodies that are potentially buried. You have scavengers that are in this area, again, animals that are indigenous to this area that are, again, it is very hard to dig a grave unless you have special equipment. So, and especially on that type of terrain. So did they have special equipment? We know that, supposedly these people have a lot of money, they have a lot of resources. So if they tapped into those resources, they could have done this properly. But again, that's why the technology piece of this is going to be so important, to be able to see where they could have possibly buried someone. And then the amount of time that has passed, it's going to be grown over. You're not going to be able to see, freshly disturbed ground as you would for someone who has maybe been recently buried. And so again, this is going to take a long time, and those excavation efforts are probably just going to reveal skeletal remains, which then you're going to have to extract DNA DNA from possibly the femur bones? And then who are these supposed minors that were there? Do their families know that they're missing? Where were they trafficked from? So not only are you trying to pinpoint country of origin, possibly, since they said that these minors were possibly from foreign countries, now you're going to have to try to track down family utilizing DNA. Skeletal remains, again, you look at the femur bone, you're trying to gather the DNA from there, but what else could you do? Dental records and things, but you must know the identity of the person in order to be able to do that.
Whether you believe that theory or not, one thing is undeniable. Years after Jeffrey Epstein's death, the case still feels far from over. If figures like Ellen DeGeneres were even loosely connected, what other revelations could still emerge? Who else might be involved? Share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think might come to light next?